And suddenly, instead of 16-ounce T-bones, we're pulling out 24-ounce T-bones. Fuck yeah, shoot all our cattle with Trenbolone.
Yes.
And then some bodybuilders said, man, those cows are jet. Hey. Grab your dick and double click.
Welcome to the Two Gaming Dudes.
All right, let's get right to it. You want steroids?
Whoa, spotters are for fags.
Apparently, that's
These
what everybody's
kids,
been watching.
you want-
Everybody's been wanting us to talk about it. So, all right.
Listen, we're going to do
Let's do it.
a comprehensive steroids review. I'm a little hesitant because what brought this on is the 15-year-old kids. Every time I do a big lift at the gym,
Right.
and the girls never look up, it's the high school boys that come running up. Like, whoa, did you bench 315? That was awesome. Yeah, really cool. Can you get me steroids?
I totally get it because I also will hear it from, it's always the younger kids, and they're like, wow, you lift really heavy. Yeah. So what kind of gear should I be on? What should I be taking? I'm like, kid, stop it.
So, listen, on this channel, like always, we're going to give it to you 100. Always. So we are going to, with the caveat, all of this shit is bad for you. Actually, some of it's not. We're going to go in order of least dangerous to the worst, most dangerous shit.
Right.
And again, we're not your healthcare provider. We're not giving medical advice. If
No.
anything, we're telling you, don't use this stuff. It's unhealthy and it'll kill you.
Yes.
But for the sake of educating the masses, we're going to tell you what we've got personal experience with, either through using ourselves or through gym partners or teammates that have used it.
We've seen some stuff. So, yeah. And we've done some stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it.
Legal disclaimer. All right, I thought we should start with the simplest, most benign stuff out there.
All right.
Creatine. Have you used creatine?
Yeah.
Creatine. Okay. Over the counter, you go to GNC and buy creatine.
Pretty simple stuff. It's designed to just add water and fluids to your muscles, so it gives you that kind of that puffy feeling.
So I was trying to decide how much organic chemistry to share. I don't think people give a shit.
I don't think so
about
either. They just want to know, like, did it work? What did it do? I can tell you from my experience, the first time I ever used creatine, I was told, wait till you start hitting your plateau.
Yeah.
And you just cannot seem to peak any farther. Go on your first creatine cycle, which is what I did. And I ended up putting like extra reps, extra weight. Everything got a little heavier. It was an awesome experience. I've never had it again. Like I could never replicate it.
Interesting.
First time only. And then after that, creatine just didn't really do anything for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's the most heavily researched compound out there in the fitness world. Absolutely 100% completely safe. It's maybe the only thing on this list that we can say that about. There are no bad side effects. It's not going to mess you up. Some people experience some GI, like, it makes my stomach upset. I can't use it.
Yeah, I've had some of that. And honestly, drink more water. If you're starting to feel like your stomach's bloated or you start getting that pain in your kidneys, like in your back area, you're not drinking enough water with it. Creatine needs a tremendous amount of water. That's why you see the bodybuilders walking around with those big jugs of water.
Jug,
You just need a lot of water with it.
So it's going to give you, I'm not going to explain adenosine triphosphate, why you give a shit. If your heaviest rep, say you're doing 275 on the bench for 6,
Right?
this will let you get 7, maybe 8.
Yes.
It's not a miracle worker.
No. But believe me, if you're stuck and you can just not get past those 6 reps, suddenly being able to do 7, I mean, I felt like He-Man coming off the machine, sir.
5 milligrams a day. Forget about this. You got to preload 15 for a week. Just do 5 milligrams a day. $20 will get you through a month's supply of creatine. No reason not to, except if there is a side effect or a downside, I would say this. I don't use it in the summertime. Because it does draw more weight or more water.
It does draw more water. You will feel kind of bloated, and it will make your gains disappear.
My abs don't. In the summertime, I want my abs to be able to cut glass, and that extra bit of water makes me look more puffy than I'd like.
Yeah,
So
it will make definition disappear for sure. Because everybody that's up on stage, like these gals, very dried out.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, in fact, many of them use Lasix, which we give to heart people to artificially make you piss out all your moisture. They're near death. Well, maybe not the bikini girls, but the open pros, they are borderline near
Yeah.
death. I mean, it's just really bad.
Okay.
Anyway, creatine, great stuff. I say no reason not to use it.
There you go. Creatine gives a thumbs up.
All right.
Where to now?
I guess testosterone.
All right, let's get into testosterone.
All right.
All right.
Test is the greatest shit in the world.
I'm on it. But I'm at the age where I needed it.
Yes.
So here was my problem. I was hitting the gym. I was doing really good. My weights were going up. I was making great strides, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't happening anymore.
We're in our mid-40s.
There were no more gains to happen. Everything started going down. It would take longer to heal. Like I'd be a week off and still be sore.
Yeah.
I mean, everything sucked. And the guy I was training with, he was the one that said you should get your test levels checked and see what's going on. And mine bottomed out bad. And that explained it. So, yeah, the doc put me on testosterone and gains came right back up. Definitions started happening.
Mine had nothing to do with athletic performance. I could tell my everyday, day-to-day life was getting shittier.
Okay, yeah, the same. I'd be depressed a lot.
And this started in my late 30s. I'm in my mid-40s now, but right around the time I turned 40, I could tell, man, I am just exhausted. I'm still eating healthy. I'm lifting the same, but my body looks like shit. I'm always exhausted. I've got no sex drive. My mood is shit. I just feel like I just ran a marathon every day.
Yeah.
And I started getting my blood levels checked, and my testosterone was shitty. But I was like, that's okay. I'll do some lifestyle changes. And the next year, my next physical, I would check it again, and it would have dropped again. And then the third year, at age 41, 42, it had dropped again. So for 3 consecutive years, it had dropped. And by the third year, I was around 200.
That's about where I was. Actually, just under 200.
So the reference range in the United States, testosterone is measured in nanograms per deciliter. And the range, depending on whose scale you're using, could be anywhere from 200 to 900. And I saw mine go from 550 to 420.
Yeah, it's like
to
every
something.
year was just dropping.
And so the same thing. This endocrinologist threw me on this weekly regimen of 175, 180 milligrams a week of test. And I felt like my old self again.
Yeah.
And when I do blood work, it takes me to the top of the ref range. I'm usually around 850, 900, which is at the top of the normal reference range.
That's about where I'm at, too. I'm about 900 steadily.
Testosterone is great because it's natural. Your body has been producing it since you were 14 years old. Your body knows exactly how to process it. It aromatizes into a little bit of estrogen, which your body needs for 100 biological functions. The downside is when folks start using it as a performance enhancer instead of as a medicine.
Yes.
Because at performance enhancing doses, 400, 500, IFBB Pros, 1,000 milligrams a week, you start getting this shit that you started learning about in middle school about drugs are bad.
Yes. Now you're getting bitch tits. Now you're getting the crazy acne. Now you're getting
Water retention.
Yeah.
You're not going to get liver trouble because it's injected, but you are
Right.
going to get kidney problems because it's going to spike your blood pressure and you're going to retain a lot of water and you're going to blow your kidneys.
Yeah. That was something I had to watch, was to make sure that my blood pressure and my cholesterol didn't go flying through the roof.
Oh,
'cause
your cholesterol's gonna shut.
can happen.
Your LDL to HDL ratio is going to get all fucked. Your bad cholesterol is going to skyrocket. Your good cholesterol is going to collapse.
Yeah.
Your hair is going to fall out if you're predisposed to lose your hair. And perhaps worst of all, your testes will stop functioning.
Yes.
The big joke is, their balls shrank. Well, that's true. They atrophy.
That actually will
for a
happen.
reason. They're not producing anymore because the feedback loop is telling your body, I got all the testosterone I need. Shut those guys down. Don't waste any more resources and calories on producing this drug. I don't need it anymore. And you'll shut down.
Yeah.
And when you come off it, you stay shut down.
They don't start back up again. No.
Sometimes permanently.
Yeah.
It may never come back. And now you have fucked yourself in a really bad way.
I just realized I changed camera angles just as they were all showing their asses. I'm sorry. I'll go back to it. I'm sorry. My bad.
So you start on these giant doses. Now you're going to need an aromatase inhibitor
Yeah.
because in the normal reference range of testosterone, you're going to convert a normal amount to estrogen. At 3 times that, you're now converting 3 times that to estrogen, and now you're getting bitch tits.
Mm-hmm.
So before you know it, you're on 3 or 4 different compounds all at once.
Yeah. So, bottom line is, testosterone can
Maybe.
absolutely be good if you need it. And if you do need it, get it through your endocrinologist, get it the right way.
Yeah. In the United States, you're going to need a prescription for this.
Yes.
And you're going to need to do blood work.
Yearly blood work. And do the damn yearly blood work.
Yeah.
You're going to need it.
Some would say more than yearly.
Yeah.
Some would say 3 times a year, 4 times a year, sometimes quarterly, depending on what you're doing.
Depending on what you're doing.
Because if you're messing with any of this stuff without keeping track of your blood count, your test level, your estradiol levels, your liver enzymes.
Oh, yeah.
Creatine clearance for your kidneys.
Your red blood cell count can skyrocket. Your iron levels can skyrocket.
If you're not
gonna
keeping
give
up on
yourself
this,
a stroke, so
you are at the absolute height of fucking irresponsibility, and this is not the sport for you.
yeah.
You shouldn't be messing with it. Okay.
So get those damn blood work.
So get to an endocrinologist, do some blood work, see if you really need it. If you're a teenager in your early 20s, you don't fucking
need it.
You do not.
With like there's like a 2% in the world
Who had some genetic condition that they're
and they're like at 20 years old, they're like, oh, I have 200 count testosterone. That's extraordinarily rare.
At your age, your test level is already at the top of the reference range.
Or beyond.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You will fuck yourself up. You do not need to start shooting at that age.
No.
You're only going to harm yourself.
Yes.
So that's test. Okay.
Okay. What's next?
I say next are SARMs.
Okay.
Specifically LGD and RAD, because those are the 2 that I've used.
I don't know those, so I'm just going to have to go off of what you say.
They're perfectly legal in the United States,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean they're safe to use.
Okay.
A lot of youngsters like them because it's a pill. You don't have to inject yourself, and they're scared of injecting.
Okay.
And they figure, it's not a steroid, it's legal, it's a SARM, it's not steroids, it's not danger. Yeah, it's fucking dangerous.
Yes. Now, the websites you go to will tell you, well, no, it's not a steroid and you're not injecting it, so it's perfectly safe. That is a bunch of lies.
True, it's not a steroid, and it's not injectable, but it's not safe. They work really, really good. Per milligram, they are stronger than many steroids.
Wow.
Per milligram. So the cycle I did of 20 milligrams a day of LGD, 20 milligrams a day of RAD. I put on 20 pounds. About 14 of it was lean mass. The rest was water, which pisses away after you come off, which is fine. However, here are the side effects. You're going to blow your liver to shit if you stay on this stuff for very long. You're still going to have the cardiovascular trouble because your blood pressure is still going to skyrocket. Your RBCs may or may not. Depending on your sex hormone binding globulin, you may or may not still get the bitch tits, depending on how your body reacts to having all this unused testosterone or this extra androgen. And when you stop, your balls have shut down and they will not start, they may not start producing again. They may, if you're young and healthy, they may come back.
Maybe, but is that a risk you really want to take?
You may need to do a PCT, a post-cycle therapy, which is a shit ton regimen of drugs that they usually give women for fertility troubles to make your brain say, hey, get the balls to produce again.
Yeah.
It's really fucking dangerous. There's no need to mess with this stuff. So both RAD and LGD were developed in the 70s and 80s for wasting diseases. Cancer patients that are wasting away. HIV patients that are wasting away.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's what they were developed for. And they worked, but all these side effects, suddenly during trials, they realized this is blowing their livers out. These people are already half dead. We don't need to blow their liver. Get it the fuck out of here.
And somebody in the IFBB was like, wait a
Well, so these are still legal and we can produce them? Well, we never outlawed. Let's go.
Shit.
So you see the trouble.
All right, I see the trouble.
So SARMs are not safe. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you not to use it.
But we can't tell you. It's not safe.
And I get it. I'm a hypocrite.
We don't recommend it.
I'm a hypocrite because I've done it. I'll tell you it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right.
I could feel the liver inflammation by week 8. And at that point, I just couldn't get the calories in anymore anyway. So fuck it. Done.
All right.
That's SARMs. T-ball.
T-ball. Okay.
Turinabol is a very, very old oral steroid.
Okay.
I think it's really cool stuff. It's the first shit as a young athlete that I experimented with.
Okay.
I like it because, again, don't take it, but developed for the same reasons to help wasting away.
Okay.
Still used for that. In the United States, you're going to need a prescription for it. It's great because it's particularly good for athletes in a weight class.
Okay.
If you're a wrestler and you're not allowed to go above a certain weight, or
okay,
you're a runner and you don't want to get too big because you can't run, or something like that. John Jones in the UFC, who fought at middle, he couldn't go above 205 pounds. So he got busted for T-ball. Because
Gotcha.
you won't get necessarily super giant, but you will get fucking strong. Crazy fucking strong. So a lot of Olympians have been busted over the years for using T-ball.
Gotcha.
I remember during that 10 weeks, I broke every fucking PR on every lift, and not by a little bit, by a lot.
I actually remember the numbers. And I was like, how are you lifting this? What the? Oh, okay. I get you.
The downside, it's suppressive. It'll shut down your natural test production.
Sure.
It's a little bit liver toxic. I feel hesitant bringing this up because people are going to think, oh, I'm just going to do T-ball. It doesn't burn out your liver. Over the years, yes, it will. Over long term, it will do liver damage.
Yes.
And if you're tested in a competition, you're going to fail. You will fail that drug test.
Yes. Instantly.
It will show clearly this guy's on a performance enhancer.
Yes.
You have to decide if it's worth it or not. And again, in the United States, you're going to need a prescription. And if your doc is any type of genius, he's going to piece together
Why you want it?
Kid, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Stop. No, you don't get to have that. No.
that's Tren.
What's next?
Next, we're getting close to Chuck's favorite. Next, first is Dianabol.
Dbol.
Dbol is great, or should we do Deca?
I feel like they almost go together. Like,
Deca
like the Dbol Deca.
Yeah.
Dbol Deca combo. That's what most people will
It's the old
think they can play around with.
The old classic bodybuilding compounds was a blast of Test, Decadrobolin, and Dianabol. Deca is injectable. Dbol Dianabol is an oral. Dianabol was invented in 1956 by an American scientist directly into response to the Soviet bloc winning the Olympics every year.
Oh, so it was made specifically as a performance enhancer.
So the Russians started shooting all their athletes with testosterone because they figured out a cheap way to make it to mass produce test. And all their athletes just cleaned up. I mean, obviously,
Just
dominated
destroyed everything. Right, because their test levels were just,
And this
deadly.
This American on the team, Dr. Ziegler, somehow pieced together, you motherfuckers, you're cheating. And he pieced together how they were doing it. They were shooting test. And he's like, I'm going to come up with something 10 times stronger than test. He does. He invents Dianabol.
There you go.
And it is all our athletes went on it and kicked the shit out of them at the next Olympics. It worked so great. Super great. Dbol is a staple. You will get gigantic. You will get gigantic and super fucking ridiculous strong. It is toxic as shit. Dbol will fuck you up. Acne, bitch tits, blown out liver, kidney trouble, cardiovascular shit. You name it. All the bad shit that you've heard about steroids, it's from Dbol.
Yeah.
But you're going to get fucking big and fucking strong. I would strongly steer you away from this because I didn't even get through my 8-week cycle. By week 4, I could feel my liver getting inflamed.
Wow.
And by that, I mean, I could go like this and go, fuck my liver. No appetite. I couldn't get in any calories to the point that I'm starting to lose weight because I can't eat because your insides are so rotten. They're like, get this shit out of here. I don't want to eat anything.
Wow.
No appetite. And if you're
not good.
if you're not getting in the calories,
then there's no point anymore.
it's become counterproductive.
Right.
Why am I messing with this shit? Get it out. And then meatheads will tell, well, because you weren't doing enough N-acetylcysteine and why weren't you taking liver enzymes? Milk this. Fuck off. It's dangerous. It'll fuck your liver up and kill you. Not worth it.
No.
Even a little bit.
And then there's Deca.
Deca has legit pharmaceutical uses. I've used Deca twice. Once as a microdose and once as part of a blast.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, again, in the United States, you need a prescription. But if you approach your physician rationally about it, it shouldn't be difficult to get. 100 milligrams a week of Deca will take away any joint trouble you have if it's tendon ligament.
Yeah.
If it's osteoarthritic, if it's bone grinding, it's not going to do shit for that. But if it's soft tissue damage, 100 milligram microdose a week of Deca will take care of that very quickly.
Now, is it actually repairing it, or is it like just masking the pain?
It does not mask the pain. It's not clear yet if it's speeding up the healing because it makes collagen produce faster. Is that it? but it also draws fluid into the joints. Is that what's doing it? Is it both of them together? Who knows? Who gives a shit? By week 3, my strained AC joint was great.
Huh.
My elbows, which were both lateral and medial epicondylitis, both inflamed, they felt great by week 3. And you're not going to get any side effects at 100 milligrams a week. Unless you stay on it long term. I mean, you're going to do it for 8 weeks at a time.
Sure.
Great. As a performance enhancer, also fucking awesome. You will get big, you'll get super strong, and your hair will fall out.
And let us not forget about Deca Dick.
And then your dick won't work anymore.
Yes. This becomes a mud flap for your butthole.
The running logic is whatever your Deca dose is, double your testosterone. So if you're doing 400 grams a week of Deca, you need 800 milligrams
Oh my God.
of test.
That's insane.
You're shooting such ridiculous amounts of shit now that you need to do all kinds of ancillaries
Wow.
to stay alive. And before you know it, you're on 6 compounds at a time. Not fucking worth it.
That's a lot. That's a mess.
Because you're still doing the changes to your blood. Your kidneys probably because of the high blood pressure. It's dangerous. And your hair falling out.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Are we at my favorite? Are we at mine?
The worst fucking shit
Yes.
in the world that no one under any circumstance should ever fuck with. Trenbolone acetate. Tren Ace. Tren bologna sandwiches. Tren.
Yeah. Straight up.
I've never touched Tren in my life.
I might have. Allegedly.
Let's give a little history here.
All right. Well, before you get into that, well, no, actually, no. Start with the history of the drug, and then I will explain the history of what happened that led up to this.
Tren Ace is a medication that was developed for veterinary use.
Specifically cattle?
Somebody pieced together, if we inject this shit, they made it in little pellets. If we shoot this little pellet, the slow time release, into a cow, 2 months before we take it to the slaughterhouse, it's gonna get fucking gigantic! And suddenly, instead of 16-ounce T-bones, we're pulling out 24-ounce T-bones. Fuck yeah! Shoot all our cattle with trenbolone!
Yes.
And then some bodybuilders said, man, those cows are Hey.
What would happen?
So I can just go into any agricultural supply store and buy bushels of Tren pellets? Yeah. And I can mash them up and mix them with an oil and make it an injectable?
I mean,
I guess you could, but why would you do that? No, I'm just saying, you could do that. Yeah, you could. Okay, cool, I'll take 3 packages.
And voila, you have Tren. Now, what he said about, they inject it like couple of weeks before they take it to the slaughterhouse. So there was no, I wonder what the long-term repercussions are. Who cares?
I'm gonna kill and eat the fucking thing.
It doesn't matter.
What are the repercussions of using Tren Ace there, Charles? I mean, the results were fucking amazing.
Yes. Okay. I am what you would call a hard gainer. And it was just getting worse Well, it was just getting worse where it didn't matter how heavy I was lifting, and I was benching 315 at the time. It didn't matter how many reps or what I did. I couldn't get bigger, and I was eating like crazy, and all it was doing was making me fat. Like, I couldn't gain size. I was genetically disproportioned to look like Mr. Potato Head, and I hated it. So I figured, well, let's just dive into the deep end and try this Tren thing and see what happens. All right, let's talk about the bad first, shall we? One, the acid reflux is a nightmare.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, it's constant. It is constant. Tren cough, that sucks. Because the moment it goes into you, like the moment it starts injecting you, your lungs feel like there's something inside your lungs tickling everything. Oh my God. And as soon as you start coughing, it doesn't stop. And that was awful. And then there's the thing it does to your brain.
It's my favorite.
So, all right. So we're familiar with like Raid Roids and all of that. All right. Throw all that out. I want you to imagine what it's like. Somewhere in your subconscious, somewhere in your mind, you have this little, I don't know, it's something that you're self-conscious about, but you don't usually show it. It's way back there in your, Tren will reach in there and grab hold of it and yank it out to the front and throw it out your mouth. So, yes, I can see where some people would become angry, violent. The guys that are like, my wife's not home yet. Clearly she's cheating. And they're like pacing back and forth at the end of the driveway, ready to actually murder someone. I get it.
Wow.
Because it is taking hold of all those insecurities and just throwing them right to your forefront, and you can't get it out of your head. That was weird.
Yeah, the way I had it.
And you had to really fight it, and you had to go, those are not my thoughts. That's something else. Calm down. I'm okay.
The way I heard it described was go into your mind and come up with the most batshit, ridiculous, insane conspiracy situation in your life. Got it in your mind? That's exactly what's going on. 100% guaranteed that is precisely what's happening.
Yes. Yes.
Interestingly enough, if you know the story of Chris Benoit, the Canadian crippler, huge WWF wrestling star,
Okay.
killed his wife and children, and then hung himself with a lat pull-down cord.
Wow.
He was on Tren when he did that. This is the shit you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not fucking horse.
It is. For most people, don't go near it. If you have something that like you're already dispositioned to, like, you know, you get mad easily or anything, don't touch. You will murder people and you won't even realize you're doing it. Don't touch this stuff. I am a very calm person. I don't have a lot of issues at all, really. I'm perfectly fine. And I'm lying in bed going, she didn't want to have sex with me. She probably never wants to have sex with me ever again. She hates me. I'm gross. Fucking hate my life. And I would throw the covers out and walk out and go into the living room. And then the next day she would be like, what the? Did you seriously just walk out because we didn't have sex that night? Yeah. Like we were never going to have sex again? And I was like, oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell.
I wasn't feeling myself.
So, yeah, that kind of stuff. But to be fair, when I was on Tren, it was like the lowest dose. Like I did not go insane with it. I was on a really low 200 milligrams.
200 milligrams.
Yeah, 200 milligrams, I think. So I didn't go very high in it. I know bodybuilders will go 400, 500, 600. It's just insane. Just 200 and I was already feeling it. But just 200 got me those effects. I mean, like,
yeah,
like,
I mean, it's...
I was burning fat and gaining muscle at the same time. And I didn't change my diet. I was still eating the same, and just fat was just melting off of me. So that was insane.
You're making it sound awesome.
I am. But, you know, the bad side of that, again, is not only does it make your muscles bigger, it makes your organs bigger. And that's how you end up with the swollen heart. And, I mean, you will die from this.
So that ventricular inflammation and hypertrophy is a very real thing. Because it's the ventricles that pump the blood. And if suddenly you've got 1.5 times the normal blood volume, that heart is having a really tough time pulsing that blood through your body. And it gets bigger. And as it gets bigger, it doesn't work as good. And you get cardiomyopathy and you're a goner. You're going to die. And people do at 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know, people have it in their mind, okay, if I'm doing 200 milligrams of stuff and it gave me this result, well, if I do 400, I'll get twice the result. And if I do 3 times that amount, I'll get 3 times the results. But you don't. Your results don't go in a straight line. They go like this.
Yeah, and they bell curve.
The dose you're taking goes up, which means the side effects are going up, but the results are not going up.
I don't know if that's true with Tren, though. And I wonder if that's why. I mean, because some of these guys just get so monstrous overnight practically.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Are you seriously on that much Tren over and over and over again and just never come off it? Because...
That's a death
what
sentence.
kind of damage?
That's a suicide stack, man. You're a goner.
That's ridiculous. I was on that stuff for like 4 weeks and I was like, stop it. And then I felt the effects for like 8 more weeks.
Oh, man.
When I was not even on it anymore. I'm still...
But it's still in your body.
Yeah, it's been 1.5 years. I still have problems with acid reflux. And I'd never had that problem before. Started the moment I touched it and then it's never gone away.
You sure it's not your weird Chinese food shit?
That's possible.
Because it always gives me reflux.
Me and my Chinese kimchi.
You know, I'll throw in one honorable mention in there. Okay. There are some ecdysteroids out there that are also perfectly legal, perfectly natural. Turkesterone was, we thought it was turkesterone that was doing it. And in HTLT supplements, it was Coach Greg, another fitness influencer, who went through and looked at the formulation and realized it's not the Turk, it's this other ecdysteroid.
Oh.
it comes from a plant. It's like creatine. It's found in small doses in foods. But when you concentrate it, it acts very much like creatine.
Okay.
And I found it better than creatine. Again, not a miracle worker.
No, but
If that creatine got you, if your max was 6 reps and the creatine got you 7 or 8, this might get you 8 or 9.
okay. That's not nothing.
It's fuck-ass expensive.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Extraordinarily.
Like how much? How bad?
Like bad.
Is it really?
Like $90 for a month supply.
Oh shit.
Versus $20 for creatine.
Yeah. No. I'm not paying that.
So Ecti is great. If money's no object, go ahead.
Sure.
But that money could maybe be spent better elsewhere.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. That money can just be spent on food. I will say that if you're really, really shooting for super abs, it's food.
Oh, it's all fucking diet, man.
It's all diet, which I was just terrible at. But I'm better now than I was, but I was pretty awful at it.
I mean, all these girls, they're Olympia competitors. It's how they make their money.
Yeah.
They're juiced out of their minds.
Yes.
You can see it. Nothing about these physiques look natural. No natural woman looks like this. They're spectacular, but
completely not real. And
I should say,
if
not
that's how you make your money. I mean, maybe that's different. I mean, if you're in the NFL and this is how you're going to make your paycheck, I guess I get it. Sports enhancements, yeah, we probably should, but
I completely understand. I completely understand Gerard Butler having to jump on steroids for 3 months to do the 300.
Yeah.
But then in his very next movie, he's just a regular skinny Englishman.
Yeah, all that stuff's gone.
You can tell he came off.
Yeah.
He's like, this stuff will kill me. I can't stand it. I'll do it for the movie. And then I'm back to my normal life. Even fucking Arnold and Ferrigno, none of them stayed on this shit year round.
No.
They'd go on their 8-week cycle before a contest, and then they'd get the fuck off and let their body heal.
I remember there were like photos that people had caught of Vin Diesel out on his balcony and stuff.
With his ridiculous belly.
With his belly and his arms would look thin, and you were like, that's Vin Diesel like today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a regular human being, and, this is what he looks like normally.
Jason Momoa is another one. He's like, I'm not a gym guy. I'll get in shape for a movie because it's my job and they're paying me to do it. But in my normal day-to-day life, I don't give a fucking shit.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that. I don't know. There's just so much stuff out there. You gotta don't jump until you've really, really examined all of this.
Right.
From
and
every angle.
Certainly don't do it when you're still young.
Oh, God.
If you're under 30, don't. I mean, really. Seriously, there's better ways, and you're still going to be able to achieve your goals if you're working hard. But this kind of stuff, it's for older folks.
Well, some of it is for older. Most of it is not for anyone ever.
And most of it's not for anyone.
Dbol, Tren, these are fucking dangerous fucking compounds, man. There's no reason to fuck with that stuff.
There really isn't. And seriously, why? For what?
Yeah. Yeah, no one's going to give a shit.
No, sadly, no. So that's all we got.
You asked.
This
you asked, and we're always going to shoot straight.
Yeah,
always.
We're going to keep it real. In the comments down below, we'd love to know your thoughts on this. I'm not going to ask you if you've partaken in any of this stuff, because you probably have not. Have we turned you away from it? Or have you watched us and you're like, I can't wait to get my hands on some? I hope we haven't done that. But yeah, seriously, would love to know your comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe.
Sorry to the video game, movie, TV show geeks.
Sorry, I know you guys.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We do both.
We'll
Sorry.
get back to some shows. We'll go watch Loki or something.
I'm not watching Loki.
All right. We'll see you in another episode. Bye now.